Hey, I'm Brandi Criscitiello, the artist. Welcome to my art show along the county line from the White Oak River to Topsail. My art show features 40 original paintings, mainly landscapes. In this video, I'm going to show you each painting in detail. The mallards. This painting inspired by some mallard ducks at the White Oak River, and also kind of a bit of a tribute to my grandparents. The farm is Mallard Farm. Mallard was her last name, so mallard duck kind of always has a little bit of significance in the family. Also had some of the wild sculpinaug grapevines growing down there, and the vineyard is a big part of the farm as well. And also love how they kind of make that heart shape. And of course the sable miners, palm trees. Swampy palms. This was just based off a cool photo I took down near the river, kind of a wetter area. Some cool leaves on the ground. Had fun doing those. There's some purple kind of in that muddy ground area. Some fallen dead trees with moss. And there's really cool lighting on the palms. Get a view of these. So along the county line with a triptych of my 3 cars. So this is my latest one, the 1970 Nova SS. This one's titled Red Barn Racing. 1970 Nova. And I've got it at the drag strip, so that was the setting, the Coastal Plains dragway. Also made the Red Barn Racing logo and painted a few, did some hand painting on some license plate, made a license plate out of aluminum and painted a few of those for us. And then the artist, 1969 Camaro. So this is the car that I've had since I was 16. A couple of years ago, did a good amount of work to it, body work, restoring it a little bit, and a lot of upgrades. Love the headlights on this one. Setting is at the farm, so there was actually a couple of scarecrows there in the background. Okay, the Heartbeat of America, 1968 El Camino. And this is the one that started all of the car paintings. So I took this one down to the river, Got some cool photos, and definitely had to paint this. Mentioned finding the wood, cedar wood frames and having fun with the knots. This one has the hole all the way through. Sometimes the knot pieces actually fall out, but I just enjoy the natural look of these. Sometimes they're kind of two-tone, sometimes they have more pink. But I have a good time kind of trying to match those up here and there. This one's in the woods down by the river. Again, real cool photo. Had some really nice lighting. Those are beech trees in the background. Added the frog. I just really like the way those palms looked against the yellow of the beech tree leaves. Corduroy Road. So this is the pathway that my brother built for us to ride dirt bikes on. Cypress Grove at Mallard Farm. This is an area that it kind of leads to the river, so it's kind of a wetter area that just kind of starts and then leads to the White Oak River. Nice palm in the foreground and lots of cypress knees. So these are bald cypress, and I just really like the way the log had fallen. There was a couple of ones covered up with mud, but one was still kind of suspended there. The Great Egret. So this is a bit of an earlier one. You can see the playing with the threes in the water. Just kind of having fun with the colors of this one. A little bit stylized. White Oak River in early spring. This one, just beautiful colors. So I definitely, once I took this photo, definitely wanted to paint it. Probably one of the earlier ones of the river. Got a fallen tree, a leaning tree, dead tree, lots of palms on this peninsula that kind of juts out. And then had a lot of fun playing with reflection of trees and leaves in the water, making shapes. I see threes everywhere. So this one was just kind of fun to play with. My logo, reflection of the water, and just kind of giving a vantage point of where I take a lot of the photos for the paintings at the river. Red dragonfly. It's a pine straw. And standing on the old dock, some moss on it. Got the Jordan ones painted. So felt like that was a good, somewhat of a self-portrait in a way. This one's called On the Fly. This one I had a lot of fun with, just kind of making up a bit of this composition. I think it was based off of a little bit of a photo, but really just kind of played with this composition with the colors and the reflection of clouds, reflection of trees. Dragonfly. Yeah, awesome colors in this one. And just have fun kind of, again, making those shapes, kind of mimicking a little bit of what you would see when something drops into the water and gives that ripple, and how it kind of gives that repeating effect of shapes. Mullet fishing. So this one's a bit more of a made-up painting, based off memories of mullet fishing with my grandparents. And then I also love the great blue heron, so I added that one in, and we've got the mullet that's caught kind of against the bank, between the net. And I had fun just kind of learning how to paint the net, and definitely stylized water. Dragonflies. So again, another reflection. Just playing with composition and color. Reflection of the trees. Just having fun with making marks and shapes and two blue two blue dragonflies. And heron on the hunt. So this one was inspired by a photo my mom took. This white heron landed in one of the canal ditches that leads to the White Oak River. So most of the time they have a little bit of water in the bottom of them, but during a hurricane or a lot of rain, these canal ditches can fill up pretty good. So definitely wanted to paint that. The mallard. This was painted as a gift for my mom. Just wanted to paint another mallard duck, and also add some leaves around in the water. This one actually has a little bit of gold leaf in it. One of the pieces of pine straw. Did that one in gold leaf, and this one I also used copper nails. So I just let those copper nails show through, didn't paint over them. And definitely enjoy picking out the cedar for my frames. Try to find ones with cool knots and just make them work with the painting. Just Do Art. So this one's inspired by just me reflecting on kind of how I really got into art, and that was in college on a basketball scholarship. Didn't know what I wanted to major in, and ended up taking an art course and really liked it, and was encouraged by my professor to major in art. So this one had a good time making, again, the composition, patterns, and the basketball is a silk screen print on top. Practice. This one I titled Practice because I was actually practicing with gold leaf. So this is 23 karat gold leaf. Just like the idea too of, I think when you're playing basketball and you practice outside, you might be practicing in the fall where you have leaves falling, and I feel like this just kind of gives that feeling. Painted basketball. 33. Let's have fun with this one. Kind of match up with the Just Do Art painting. Kind of has a little bit of the same patterns. White Oak River at low tide. This painting I actually had in the Cameron Art Museum at one point for their State of the Art of the State art show. Just love all the colors in this one. The fallen tree and the leaning tree help really make for a cool composition on this one. And that's that peninsula that juts out with all the palms and cypress knees. Blanche's Zinnias. So this one inspired by, well, the farm, but also my grandmother with the blue butterfly, and I talk about this one in one of the other videos. The zinnia field. White Oak River at high tide. Similar to the one at low tide, but different time of the year, different colors. And the red dragonfly. Sunflower field. This was just a really cool photo, or based on a really cool photo I took. So in the foreground of the sunflowers, we actually have jumbo peanuts just starting to grow. That's one of the things that we grow on the farm. Those beautiful clouds, so I enjoyed doing those. Of course, the really cool barn. And farm after Florence. So this I took like a day, I think, after the hurricane happened. Took a photo. This is one of the canal ditches that was full and flowing to the river. Didn't have enough wall space for this one. This was an earlier river painting. Very similar scene, just different time of the year. White Oak River in early December. Swing Bridge in morning sun. This is at Surf City. This is the swing bridge that they tore down to put the high rise. So I took a lot of photos before they tore it down. Went over to the beach one morning, grabbed a few good photos and used those for reference. High water. This one more so made up after, again, Hurricane Florence. A lot of topsoil was flooded, so I just kind of had fun with creating a painting inspired by that. Last sunset. So this was like the last day that the swing bridge was up and running. So rode over, snapped some photos, and the sun was really lighting up that one side there. Swing bridge with crab pots. This was like an early morning paddle on a paddle board. Went towards the swing bridge. Had a boat come by, but was able to get a good photo to be able to paint from. The crab pots in the foreground and swing bridge. High rise over swing bridge. So again, another morning paddling. Had these oyster catchers there. And you can see the high rise behind the swing bridge. They had not yet torn down the swing bridge at that point. And another morning paddle. This one is still water at swing bridge. I think I did about 5 or 6 different versions of the swing bridge. Before Florence. This one, I took a good photo before we packed up to leave my house to go to the farm to ride the hurricane out. There was a bald eagle and a dead tree there, and it was just kind of that calm before the storm. Beautiful day. Cool clouds. Mullet fishing in the marsh. Again, this one's a bit made up, just off memories of mullet fishing with my grandparents. My granddad had built this boat out of wood, and that's what we would use when we go. So just had fun playing with the water and the net. Colors, of course, the 33 there in the middle. Dock fishing at the river too. So I think my brother was fishing and took some photos of the water rippling. And I just had fun playing with those shapes. Early morning north of the high-rise bridge. So another morning paddle where I saw some dolphins and was able to get some photos. So on this one, the swing bridge is gone, and there's the high-rise. Just a nice calm morning. It's always fun to see dolphins when you're out on the water. W.I. Mallard, named after my grandpa, Peepaw. So he was a mullet fisherman, and that was one of his floats. So I just had fun kind of playing with the water again. Movement, really like the movement and color in this one. And Pelican. Based off a photo at the Surf City Pier. I just lost my Dodson Roscoe, so carved his name, or painted his name carved in there to the piece of wood, the railing. Sunrise at Heron Cove. So again, another morning paddle. I don't think the clouds were quite this pretty, but had fun making those. Saw a couple of heron. just really like the composition of this one. And colors, of course. And that's it. That's all of the original paintings here at the Council for the Arts in Jacksonville. Along the county line.